Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You are tuned into About Alasia, and if you are new here, welcome to the family. So for today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today I am wearing a dress that I handmade myself. Quick little disclaimer, when I say that I handmade it, I don't mean that I hand sewed it. So I most definitely used a sewing machine. And my mom did help me make a couple adjustments here and there, but yeah. Please clap, clap. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, you are missing out, so please follow me at About Alasia. So today's video is gonna be a little bit different. So if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this picture and this purple dress. You guys need this dress in your closet. Even if you are a beginner and you've never sewn before, I'm sure you can follow what I did here and make your own dress and it will come out great. One thing that I love about this dress is that I can dress it up or down. If I want to throw on heels, it's dressy. If I want to throw on sneakers, it's tomboyish. I can wear flip-flops with it, I can wear sandals, I can wear whatever I want and it still looks good. So y'all need this dress in your wardrobe and I'm gonna show you how to make it today. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So before we get started, let's just get into what you're gonna need to make this dress. So obviously you're gonna need fabric. The fabric of this dress is kind of stretchy, so you're gonna need like kind of like a knit spandex that stretches, because you're gonna be putting it over your head. So if you use a fabric that doesn't stretch, you're gonna have a really hard time. Stretchy fabric. The next thing you're gonna need for this dress is a sewing machine. I wouldn't suggest sewing this by hand because that would be very tedious and time consuming, so sewing machine is your best bet. So the other things you're gonna need are basic stuff like scissors to cut your fabric, chalk to mark where you're gonna cut your fabric, and you're also gonna need thread. Try to get a thread that matches whatever fabric you have. It's gonna look so much better, unless you want, you know, your thread to show and be a different color. That could be cute. That could be cute, but I'm using a brown thread for this dress. You're also going to need a dress that is slim fitting, it fits you nice, you feel confident in it. Whatever dress that is, grab that dress. Preferably like a bodycon dress, one that's tight, kind of like the same material that we're gonna be making the dress out of, and yeah. All right, y'all, let's get straight into this video. Quick little disclaimer, I am not a professional seamstress. I am a beginner, okay? So let's just keep that in mind throughout this video. So as you can see here, I have my brown fabric, and what I'm going to be doing is laying it out flat. There's my mom helping me, of course. So I'm laying my fabric out and I'm making sure there are no wrinkles in it. When you are laying out your fabric, you want to make sure you're going with the grain. Otherwise, your dress won't fit the way it's supposed to. So make sure both of your selvages are together and that you're laying your dress to the length grain and not the cross grain. All right, now that my fabric is laid out, I'm putting my bodycon dress over it and just making sure that it lines up perfectly. Here I have my one strap tank top, and I'm going to be laying this over the dress because I want my dress to have one strap. This is optional. If you don't have a one strap top, that's fine. You could do two straps if you want, but I chose to do one strap. As you can see here, I'm just making sure that the strap lines up with the dress. And now I'm using chalk to outline the dress so that I can cut it out afterwards. I'm giving myself a little bit of room between the dress and where I'm drawing the line because I don't want my dress to be too tight after I sew it. quick little background on my sewing skills for y'all who are interested. I took 2 sewing classes in high school and my mom loves sewing, so that's where I get my passion for sewing from. Here I have my scissors and we're just gonna cut around the side of the dress. I also left a little bit of an allowance at the strap just in case I need to make the dress tighter or looser. And look how beautiful that came out. So now I'm going to be pinning both sides together. The first thing that I'm going to sew are the sides of the dress, so that's what I'm pinning first. Alright, now we are all pinned and let's get ready to sew. Here I have what is a bobbin and this goes at the bottom of the machine. Now what I'm doing here is I'm basically going to be threading the bobbin. And it's very easy. Each machine is different, so yours might be a little bit different from mine, but I'm just going through the process. So what you're gonna do is thread your thread through the middle and through the top of the bobbin. And here I have my bobbin all set up. Before running the bobbin, I make sure to turn off my needle so it's not sewing while I do this, and this is how I fill up my bobbin. This is what it looks like when it's done. We're gonna put this at the bottom of the machine and we're gonna make sure that the string goes to the left and kind of fits under that little latch. At this point, I've already threaded my entire machine. Now I'm just getting that thread through the needle. Once that's in, the thread goes under the foot. And now what I'm doing is moving the needle down, and this is going to catch the thread from the bobbin. You basically want to have a loop. Once you get that loop, you're gonna pull it through, as I'm doing here. So the thread from the bobbin is going to be coming up from that little hole under the foot. Now I'm showing you guys what setting I'm using. I'm using a 7 and that's a straight stitch. This part of the machine is called the needle plate and it has different measurements on it. Today I will be sewing my dress on 3/8 and that's where it is right now. I will be sewing it all the way down, making sure I stay as straight as possible. Once you're ready to start sewing, what you're gonna do is go forward and then go backwards. And after that, you can continue going all the way down your dress. As you're sewing, try to stay as straight as possible. As you can see here, I was curving a little bit, but it happens. We have reached to the bottom of the dress, so I'm going down. I'm gonna reverse a couple of stitches and then go all the way through, just like I did in the beginning. Now we have the other side. I'm doing the same exact thing, going straight through and making sure to reverse at the bottom and the top. Here is that little mistake that I made in the beginning when I was swerving a little bit. I'm just gonna go back, reverse, make it straight, and reverse again. Look at that, much, much better. Yes. Alright, this is the first try on. I'm basically just throwing on the dress to see how loose it is, how much I need to take in, etc, etc. I have my mom filming for me, of course. Now she's pinning my shoulder strap for me. I want it to fit very snug on the shoulder, so she's making sure that it's tight enough. Here she's using chalk to draw a line because the fabric was way too high up on my armpit, so she's gonna cut that out for me. Keep in mind that because I'm not using a pattern to make this dress, I still have to make adjustments because it might not fit the way that I want to, so that's just what I'm doing here. I already flipped my dress inside out, so now I'm just pinning it again and we're gonna sew right over it. I personally love using chalk because it reminds me to stay in a straight line. Now we're gonna sew just like I did on the side of the dress. We're gonna go forward, then backwards, and then straight through. Once I get to the end, I'm going to reverse, of course, and then finish off. Now that we're done with the strap, it is time to hem the dress. So as you can see here, the edge is very raw and it doesn't really look good. So what I'm doing now is I'm grabbing my seam gauge and my pins, and what we're going to do is hem the dress. I'm using the seam gauge to measure and then pin just the top of the dress. So I'm measuring at 1/2 inch and putting a pin there. For the bottom of the dress, I won't be hemming it just yet because I'm doing something a little bit different. And here's what it looks like when I'm done. This part is very, very tedious, so I make sure to go as slow as possible because there's really no room for any mistakes. Sewing here, I'm not using a specific measurement on the needle plate. I'm just making sure that I keep my fabric as straight as possible. Look at the difference that made. We are completely hemmed at the top of the dress. Now my mom is making some adjustments, but look at the difference. The first time I tried on my dress, it was very baggy on the side, so my mom is pinning it for me and we're gonna make an adjustment. You guys already know I had to bring out the chalk, okay? We're gonna sew right through there and cut off the excess fabric. I also want my strap to be tighter, and that's what I'm doing here. Don't forget to cut off that excess fabric when you make adjustments, or it's just gonna look bulky. You don't want that. We have made it to the bottom of the dress, and now it is time to hem it. So I'm putting my sewing machine on a zigzag stitch because we are doing a lettuce hem. A lettuce hem is used to seal the raw edge of a piece of fabric. To do this lettuce hem, I am pulling my fabric very tightly on both sides, and then I'm allowing the sewing machine to move the fabric on its own. I would suggest trying this on a scrap piece of fabric before going straight onto your dress, because it took me a while to get the hang of this. While I'm doing this, I'm making sure to go forwards and backwards at the beginning and at the end. I love the lettuce hem on this dress because it just adds another element to it. If you do the lettuce hem correctly, it should look just like this, and you're done.